Hi, thanks for joining me with another episode of Tea with Tasha. Thank you for your support. Girl, man, those last two videos on cheating, I had to like take some ibuprofen. I had me a drink like that. When I say they had my head hurting, like, oh my goodness, I don't even want to talk about it no more because I just realized, that somebody just was playing with me in my face and it just hurt. But also cheating, and that it is a form of emotional, mental, psychological abuse. Please, cheating is abuse. It is abuse. And man, I just kind of want to, you know doing these podcasts or whatever you want to call it is like, giving birth to a baby, and God had been kind of showing me what to do and how to do it and what to say, and I am ready for this baby to be born and grown. Like, I do not want to talk about this. It is so just, oh my God, it is so intense. Like, when you just realize, people out here playing with each other and playing with their lives like this is intense. I mean, oh Jesus, man, this is a lot. Oh, goodness gracious. Just, oh my goodness. It is just so much to just, if you are being cheated on, man, if you have been cheated on, I'm sorry. Like, oh my goodness. I just couldn't even imagine the mental abuse, because it comes with, it's not just that, the amount of lies that he has told, everything. It's just awful. So check out those videos, and man, let's stand together and make a better America for the women that are involved. Everybody, like my mother said, we close our legs collectively to no good men, the world will change in an instant. So anywho, let's get to a better subject. Let's practice dating better. Treat it like a job or a career, at least a part-time job. And don't be so lax with everything in the beginning. Don't be so lax with your boundaries. Don't be so interested in falling in love. Get there genuinely. Get there because the foundation is being laid. It is important to lay your boundaries now, because you are creating the life that you are going to live. And if you so lax with your boundaries, then you're going to create that kind of life. Like, a lot of women are successful in a lot of areas of your life, but when it comes to dating, you just kind of bomb out all the time, because you're not dating with intention. You're not dating with a plan, like figuring out what it is that you really want, and understanding what it is that you don't want. You go to your job, you're prepared, you have the work done, you've gotten, just like I say, men understand requirements. As a woman, we need to date better. You need to date from a place of understanding, a place of patience, but a place of, you are not just random. Don't just randomly date. Like, the connection, oh my God, it's not everything. Because you can connect with somebody, but if you don't have some things in place, the connection alone is not going to sustain a long-term relationship. It's not going to sustain, the inability to communicate the way that you need to be communicated with. It's just not. So pay attention. Listen. Listen. Because men typically tell you what it is. You just have to know what those words are. When men talk, all they words they mean. And if they joking, they mean those words too. Men don't joke. They just use humor to express themselves. So listen to what they're saying. If they say they don't want anything, then pack light, pick up and keep it moving. Like I say, don't get attached. Don't, like, you can have an amazing time with somebody. Oh my goodness. You can go out, or say you meet and you talking, and you just vibing, and the chemistry. I mean, you need foundation. Chemistry and all that is nice. It's nice. But chemistry does not sustain relationships, because chemistry is just like how two people connect, how they come together. Sometimes it could be fireworks, and that's awesome. But you would rather have someone that is willing to build with you and build a romance with you, build something. I would rather have someone that is willing to put logs on a fire on a regular basis, because that's what's going to heat the home, than somebody who is reliant on fireworks. That's what sometimes men do. They throw you a couple of fireworks, or it just happens however it does, but they're not willing to put the logs in the fire to keep the house burning and keeping the house warm. They just want to do a little bit, then they fall off. So let's pay attention and date with intention. Date and communicate, and listen to what they're saying, all the words that they're saying. And if something rubs you the wrong way, this is what you're practicing. You're practicing speaking up for yourself. You're practicing saying what it is in a respectful way. You know, you don't need to cut anybody's heads off, but you do need to speak clearly in what it is that you want and don't want. You know, you need to be focused on the end goal. That's the lifetime journey that I want to be able to live with somebody, and I want to be able to have a marriage and a family and all of those things. But if you don't build the right foundation, you're going to be on shaky ground. Be patient, and don't invest and give and do anything. Allow him to become attached to you. Allow him to deepen the relationship. Allow him to tell you where it's going, and allow him to express himself. And if he doesn't, then it's not that. You know, if a man really wants you, he'll let you know, and give it time for it to evolve. Give it time to evolve into something beautiful. But also, if it doesn't, don't try to force it. Don't try to keep them around because you want some company, or keep them around because you don't want to be by yourself. You're just delaying the process. You know, there's a man out there for you. You're just going to have to keep moving forward until you and all can connect. But you cannot connect with the right one when you got the wrong one in your face, taking up your time, because they like to do that. They like to cock block. They don't want anybody else to have you. Now, they don't really want you themselves, but they don't want nobody else to have you. Maybe just in case I really do want to one day. Come on, get out of here. Somebody either wants you or they don't. And when I say if he wanted to, he would, it's true. If he wanted to, he would. And that's just what it is. And so one of the things that I did want to touch on is be the best version of yourself when you are dating. Like, because think about it, you're dating and you want a partner. So be the best version of yourself as you're trying to, you know, choose a partner, or he's choosing you and you coming together. Because if you change and evolve during the relationship, there is a chance that you're going to outgrow him, because you didn't pick from a place of your healthiest self. Because, you know, say you go for another job and you get, like, I have a friend, she been married a long time, but she's having struggles in her marriage because she invested in herself, and for whatever reason, he seems to be uncomfortable with that. He seems to be questioning everything and being mean because she, you know, made some improvements to her body on her own, and necessary improvements, you know, not just BBLs, but, you know, like she got her teeth done, and that was an improvement that made her feel good about herself. Like, nobody wants to be out here raggedy. She got a better job. I mean, like, probably doubled her income, and so now he is just really having a problem. And so that's an issue. Like, you have to think about, can this person evolve with me? You know, because if you can't evolve together, then that's going to be a problem, because life is about evolution. Life is about evolution. Life is about, like, you're not going to live the same life that you're living right now in 10, 15 years, however long, you know. My life is so much different, and my life is different now than it was 6 months ago. And so my life is changing, our life is changing, and my husband has to evolve and adapt to those changes. And 100% supportive. I got a good partner. I really did. But not everybody can do that. Can you imagine, you know, people jumping out the box, but that you put them in, and they jump out that box, and man, you don't even know what to do. So it's to your benefit to be your best self when you approach dating, because you want to be able to attract the very best, but you also don't want to come from a broken, desperate place, because you're going to attract a broken, desperate person, and then you get yourself together, you evolve, and then that wasn't part of the agreement. They're looking like, well, nobody thought that you was going XYZ. So be your best self, because you want to be in it for the long term, and you want somebody that can be in it for the long term with you. And if he can evolve with you, and you can evolve with him, because his life may change, you know, he may get a better job, these, you know, have better opportunities, because the Bible says that when a man finds a wife, He finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So I know that, like with my husband, he has just been having so many just good circumstances and so much favor in so many arenas. And that's amazing, because that's what it should be. He has found a wife and he has found favor with the Lord. Can you imagine what favor from God looks like? It is amazing, amazing. It's like, I'm so happy for us both, but I'm so happy for him. I look at him and his life and how it's changed, and I am, my goodness, my heart is warm. Like, yes. You know, I remember him, we were sitting at the table one day, and this was when we were dating, and he said, man, I don't regret the love I gave, because I'm getting it back right now. And I said, me too, baby, me too. You know, I could have made some better choices, but I'm getting it back, and we both are. And so you want that kind of relationship that you can evolve together, that you can grow. You know, you want to go on a journey with someone. And so that's important. Be your very best self. And so one of the things that I also wanted to touch on is, know that men that you like or that you connect with are going to have pieces of your person. So I'm sorry, I'm getting warm. They're going to have pieces. And so don't get caught up in the pieces, trying to make those pieces fit, because, like, say, you know, one of my big things is, nothing is more attractive to me than a man that loves God. Like a man that has a relationship with God, that, you know, is God fearing, and not God fearing, but like literally he fears God. Like, that's a thing for me. Like when men say integrity, I'm like, oh, say it again. Just say integrity, you know, just like, oh my God, that's awesome. And so I have met men along the way, and when I found that peace, I would just be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. But I had to learn that that was just a piece. I needed the whole package. I did not just want the piece. Like, I very much enjoy a gentleman, you know, a patient man. And so if I found a gentleman, I would just get so excited, like, oh my God, because that vibes with me. I want to be treated well. I want to be respected. I want to be handled well. And so then once I, you know, found my husband, I realized, like, oh my God, he has the package. Like, other people had pieces of who he is. A gentleman, a patient man. Goodness gracious me, a patient man. That is a vibe right there. I mean, patient, you know, long suffering, just, oh my goodness, it is such a thing. And so I realize now that I came across some of those aspects of him, but it wasn't the package. And I would hold on, and I'm like, but you know, when it don't line up, it just don't line up. Like, learn your lesson, keep it moving, but when it doesn't line up, it just doesn't. Don't think that that person is the only person that's gonna have, you know, what you desire. Know that the package that's gonna, you know, fit you right is gonna fit, and it's gonna all come together. It's gonna all come together. He's gonna be everything that you need, and that's what we should be praying for. Everything that we need, not everything that we want, but everything that we need. And if he can't give you that, then he's not the one, because God knows what we need. Like, I have things in my husband that I need and did not even know until he came and fit the bill, and kind of, you know, we came together, and it came together so beautifully, because and I gave him everything he needed. You know, we just fit really well, and it's just been an amazing experience, and I'm grateful that I waited until the whole package came, not just the pieces. And figure out which pieces are important to you. But when it fits, you'll know. It's real simple. It's not some real complicated thing. And if it doesn't fit, you know, it's really kind of like, then it's probably not the one, because you think about the journey that we're going to live lifelong with somebody. If we can't really get along and it's real bumpy, it's probably going to be really bumpy. You know, that's just going to be the experience that we have, because we aren't willing to wait on the whole package and just not the pieces. Don't be decisive. You know, be decisive. I was just talking to a lady today, and she was on the phone with a guy, and he said something about women always in their feelings, like something, you know, kind of almost disrespectful. She hung up, blocked him for 3 years. Blocked him. I was like, girl. She was like, no. I am allowed to have my feelings, and you are not going to disparage me for having them. And girl, they end up meeting back on a dating site 3 years later. And so they talking, having a good time, really having some great conversations. I'm so happy for her. But it's amazing, hey, handle me well. Handle me well. Be respectful in your conversation, and men, handle her with some patience and some, learn that, because that is a key when, as being a man leading a family, the level of patience that you're going to have to be able to deal with everybody. Because if she's having a rough day going bonkers, you have to come in and solidify her. You have to come in and say, hey babe, what's going on? Like, I remember my husband telling me very early on, he was like, yeah, I'm looking forward to learning you. And I was like, what you mean learning me? And literally has learned me, like sat back and studied me, studied my habits, studied what it is that I want, knowing when something was wrong. Most of the time would just come in and just try to fix it without me even having to say anything. Coming in and just, like, say on a Friday night, if I come home in the kitchen I clean, I'm a blow a gasket. That's just what it is. That's just, I'm sorry, it bothers me. And I just remember coming in one day, and the kids had made some kind of mess, but as I was walking in, I hear the dishes and I see him, and I was like, see, you are what dreams are made of. Because I'm gonna be bothered by it, regardless of who did it, whose fault. I do not care. I'm gonna be bothered by it. And that he stepped right in and just took care of it, because he knows that is what is important to me, especially on a long day of work. If I come home in the house, the kitchen not clean, it's just gonna be one. We about to go to war. It's gonna be a problem, just because that's just not my expectation. And so you want a patient man that values that he values his life with you, that he wants to make your life easier, that he wants to make sure you are taken care of, that that you are provided for not just financially but emotionally, that you are secure and feel safe in your surroundings and in your environment, that you feel like you can achieve and do more because he got it. He got you covered. He's gonna make sure you have everything that you need, make sure that you're happy, that you are comfortable, secure. I mean, it's a vibe. It's really nice. And so if you want the package, don't settle for the pieces. Don't settle for the pieces, because if you settle, and you will know when you're settling. When you settle, you're going to get less than what you settle for, because he's doing his very best. And if he can't stay with those pieces, and he's going to be frustrated because he can't give you all those pieces that you need. And so we're going to talk about knowing what settling is, and also knowing how to compromise and be reasonable. We are in a different age bracket, but even if you're young, if you're young watching these videos, you certainly, ma'am, do not need to settle, because you are so young. You have your whole life ahead of you. But don't do it now, because you could be young, somebody could snatch you up and take the next 20 years of your life, and then you get out of that and be like, man, I shouldn't have settled. And you shouldn't settle. You shouldn't settle for pieces. Wait for the whole package. Be patient. Know that just because you have chemistry with somebody, it's not enough. Just because you connect with somebody, it's not enough. Just because you friends and can talk and have a good time, it's not enough. You need some foundational pieces, and a lot of that is really just going to come down to character. You need somebody with good morals and character, because that means he's going to make the right choice regardless if you're looking or not. And so that is very important. We need somebody with integrity. Like you say, like I say, you say integrity. I'm like, oh, say it again. Say it again. Say integrity. Oh my God. It's a thing for me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because it means that I can count on you when I'm not looking. That you're going to do the right thing regardless. And that is a vibe in and of itself. Hey, I hope that you have enjoyed this Tea with Tasha. I have. I am going to make more videos. If you have any subject matter you need me to get to, I certainly will. But I have a plan on where I'm going with this. I have some things I got to say. I'll give you a tidbit of something that I'm going to hopefully speak on real soon about. Everybody can't always be Jordan. Sometimes you got to be Pippen. So that's going to be something really interesting, really exciting, to get into. But again, I hope you have enjoyed this Tea with Tasha. I certainly have enjoyed it. I'm having a good time. I hope it's helping. And I will talk to you soon.